amazing. We have just had such an amazing time together. Glad you all can join us from home or wherever you are. Next year, make it your business to be here live. There is nothing like being on site, connecting arm in arm with other womanpreneurs and entrepreneurial women who are in business for themselves but not by themselves, and that are striving to go and take their business off to the next level. So if you cannot be here, your presence, we've had nearly 100,000, over 100,000 views of the private rooms, of the live stage, and so thank you so much for being here. Today, first of all, my name is Dr. Sabrina Watson, and today I want to talk to you about experiencing limitless living. Now, you've heard over the last few days of all these women who have shared their personal stories about how they got to where they are in their business, in their lives, and so many of them, maybe even 90% of the women you've heard, if you've been able to follow us online each day, have shared stories about personal triumph, about overcoming obstacles, about experiencing things in life that they had no control over. But they persevere, just like you're persevering, wherever you are, whatever your dreams are, and whatever life has thrown your way that has knocked you down or set you back. Today we want to talk about you starting to envision limitless living, starting to dream about how to get from where you are today to where you want to be. Now, let's talk about what a limit is. This is presentation, let me share with you. This is for the person who is just kind of tired of just being held up by your past fears and anxieties, things that may have happened when you grew up as a child, people who have been set back by finances, people who weren't able, maybe you weren't able to finish a college degree, and that you feel like that's holding you back in your career. Maybe you're someone who says, you know what, I keep trying to launch this business or to launch this idea. I keep trying to put my vision into action, but I just keep having to start over because maybe I have to turn my attention to my children if you're a mother. Maybe you have to turn my attention to my husband if you're married. Or maybe you're having to take care of a sick parent or an elderly parent. You know what life does? It just throws stuff at us. But I've talked about earlier yesterday, for those of you who were able to follow me, I talked about the path of least resistance. Because when those things happen to us in life that we cannot control, many times we want to say, you know what, if life was just a little bit easier, I could meet my goal. I could start my business. I can make those 6 figures. But you know what? That's the path of least resistance. And that's what people say, you should take the path of least resistance. What that means is take the easy way. And wouldn't we all love to? But I'm here to tell you today that the easiest way is not always the best way. And that the challenges you might be facing now, or the setbacks you faced in the past, or the starting over and getting discouraged and the doubt and the fear, it's really what you've heard the stories of so many other women share today. It's those things. It's the path of sometimes most resistance. It's the path of sometimes most obstacles and most challenges that actually builds up your character and makes you into the person that you need to be in order to fulfill your purpose. All right? Are y'all hearing me out there? So what we want to talk about today are, how to break through some of those limiting beliefs. I admire so many people in life. There are people like Chris Gardner. I'm sure some of you may have heard the name. He is an international legend, businessman, where they created a movie about him, Pursuit of Happiness. Well, Chris Gardner was an investment banker, okay? And he's also a retired veteran. And he was someone who really experienced a certain level of success in life and then was knocked back by his finances, so much so that he and his son had to live, in the past, they had to live out of a public bathroom. Can you imagine having to live and go to work daily and then come home to no home, to a public bathroom? Well, today, I'm just going to fast forward. Chris Gardner is one of the most successful. He's a multimillionaire investor. And he is one of the most talked about rags to riches story of our time. Well, imagine yourself, and you don't have to go from rags to millionaire, but just think about what were some of his challenges. And it may be some challenges that you all may be going through today. Whatever you want to be, wherever you want to be in life, and wherever you are maybe presently, anywhere on that spectrum, think about where he was in his mindset. If you're taking your child and you're living in a bathroom, but you still have dreams of being a multimillionaire, you still have dreams of being a financial guru, the person that people look to, you still have dreams of giving a college education to your children, you have dreams of being able to support your family and never living the way you do today again. What are some of the mindsets that you think he had to go through? I would present to you that he probably had to do a lot of self-talk. So I want somebody, whoever's out there, go ahead and write down self-talk. I'm going to give you a few keys today in how to help you to break through your limiting beliefs and how to get yourself to a place where you can actually talk your way into the direction and the pathways you want to go. So there's some self-talk that needs to happen, because imagine if you're living in a bathroom with your son. You certainly don't have anybody saying, you know what, you can do this. Whatever your dreams are, whatever you're dealing with today, I know you can't pay your bills, I know you might not have money for your food for your children, but it's going to be okay, it's going to be all better. You may not have anybody around there that's going to support you and give you resources and speak that word of encouragement to you. But I think about Chris Gardner and how he had to do a lot of self-talk and a lot of reflection. And one of the things he said, I'll never be in this situation again. So let's declare that today. I'll never be in, you fill in the blank, I'll never be in this situation again. So we're going to talk about 2 acts, okay? ACT. We're going to talk about the first ACT, which kind of makes a framework and builds a picture of where you are based on your past experiences. And we're going to talk about how all of those limiting beliefs, the doubt, the fear, how it creeps into where you are. That's the first act. And then we're going to talk about how to begin to change some of that negative talk, that doubt. And you may be someone who say, you know what, I don't have a whole lot of doubt or fear. I just need things to start happening for me. I just need a chance. For me, as a single mom, it was just me and my 2 kids. And sometimes, people would say, your kids are going to, they've got a great mother. You're doing so well with your kids. And they would say those things, which was encouraging to me. But how many of you out there know, I just need some help? I just need someone to just offer me a hand or help. Someone to just give me one step in the direction where I want to go. And sometimes that person would come. But when I sometimes most needed it, they didn't. And this is when you have to be able to do it for yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about, the second act. So I just talked about people that I admire. One more person I admire, because I want you all to think about the fact that no matter how old you are, there's a woman by the name of Betty Riley in the state of Florida. And Betty just got her college degree in English from Florida Atlantic University last year at the age of 88.
Wow.
She's 89 this year, okay? And imagine this now, the reason Betty Riley got that degree is because when she was younger in her age, she went to apply for a job as a librarian, and they would not hire her because she didn't have a high school diploma, okay? And this haunted her throughout her entire life. So I don't know who's out there listening, but age is not an excuse. Age is not a factor in you living what you're supposed to live, being where you're supposed to be in life, impacting the lives you're supposed to impact. So she decided, that at the age of 88, now is the time for me to live my dreams. Now is the time for me to experience that limitless living where there are no more limits. That my mind is, I'm going to set my mind free. I'm going to get rid of the doubt, or I'm just going to push through it. I'm going to get rid of the fear, or I'm going to push through it. You know, every day when I get up, there are certain things I do not like to do. One of them is to make kind of like cold calls to people that I want to share my business with. It's the thing that I hate to do most. But how many of you ever heard of eating the frog? Okay. If you haven't, when you eat the frog, I mean, it's a silly terminology or colloquialism or whatever you want to call it, but really it's a thing that's most painful for you to do. Because how many of you imagine eating a frog would be quite painful? But if you make the things that you know you need to do in order to move your family and your business, your life in the right direction where you want it to go, then start making the very first thing you do in the morning is the thing that you least like to do. And so for me, that was making some of those cold calls. Because I knew once I got the thing that I hated to do out of the way, guess where the rest of my day was just going to fly. It was going to be a breeze. Because and when you do it the opposite way, you get up, you're like, okay, I want to start this business, and I know I need to write down a number of people that I know I need to put on my schedule what meetings I want to attend, and you're doing all those little things that you don't mind doing, that get you excited, and you save the thing that you need to do most that's going to generate you some income for your business, you save that to the end of the day. Stop for a moment. I see some of you smiling in this room, but stop for a moment and think what could happen in between the things you like to do and the thing you hate to do, and there's an 8-hour day, let's just say. For me, I'd find every excuse and reason not to do the thing I needed to do most. So if we switch it and do the thing that we know is going to benefit our family, our business, our educational pursuits, if we do that thing first, then we have made the steps in the right direction, get it out of the way, and now the things we need to do next in that day or in that week are easier for us to challenge, to take on. So let's talk about, for those of you who haven't followed us earlier, I'm going to repeat a couple of things, but I believe as an educator that you learn something when you hear it repeatedly. And you're hearing the sound of my voice. You may have heard it or seen the live video earlier, but you can learn things visually, you can learn things auditorily, and you can learn things by doing. That's called kinesthetic. And I want you to put into practice today each one of those things. See what you need to see. Hear what you need to hear. Listen to the audio tapes of people who are in the positions where you want to be. And then start putting into action with your physical body, with your arms and your legs and your hands, and moving and meeting people, doing the things you need to do to actually make it happen. And that's where your learning, your growth, and your development will take place. So wherever you are in your area of need, it could be, we talked about, there's disbelief, or I didn't get my degree, so I really can't apply for this job. Or if I just lose 30 pounds, then I'll feel more secure in going after this opportunity. Maybe those are areas of needs. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe your finances are in a place where, I'll never know how I'll get out of this place. Maybe you're a single mom like me with 2 children and not a lot of support. But you have big dreams for your children, big dreams for yourself, for your business, and other people you want to impact. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and write that down, acknowledge where you are. For those of you who are out there in the comments section, go ahead and write acknowledge. You want to acknowledge where you are and where you've been. This is my life. That's the best thing you could do for yourself. It's freeing to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I don't know why my life has gotten me here. Don't know why I didn't have my parents in my life, or my mom or my dad. Don't know why I didn't have the support that my other friends had. But this is my life. And then C, you want to claim what you want it to be. Because we can't control where we've acknowledged we've been. But now we can claim what we want for our future. Because that does something to your mind, your subconscious. And you want to start speaking in a way. And I used to do this. Before, I wrote a book in 2012. But even before that, God had given me the assignment to write the book. Because I knew in my spirit that what I was going through in my life, and this may be for somebody, I don't know why I'm going down this road, but I knew that book was going to be eventually be healing for someone else. And I kept putting it off. But what I would tell people is, I'm writing a book. Even though I hadn't started. I'm writing a book. And when I start saying that to myself, and the feedback that God would allow people to give me would make me, one, feel guilty because I really wasn't writing that book at that moment. But two, it was my courage, my continuous inspiration to walk in the way I was supposed to walk. And what did I eventually end up doing? I wrote the book. Because I spoke it into existence. Even though the idea was already planted first. But the idea comes first, and then you have to let it sit, that seed just germinate inside of you. And sometimes it takes a bit of faith and courage to say, okay, now I'm going to do it. So acknowledge where you are, claim what you want, and trust that you can make it happen. Wherever you are spiritually, for me, it was my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that I went to and I spoke to on a daily basis. You know, God, I'm weak. I don't know how to do this. I don't have the courage. I need some support. And as for me personally, started reading the Bible, he would give me verses and chapters and words to read that were life into my life. And that would give me power and strength to do what I needed to do. And my trust and my faith in what I wanted to, what I was claiming for myself became clearer and clearer each day. So that's the first act. That's where we are. That's in our mess, okay? So now I want to talk about, in order for you to say, you know, I envision myself owning my business, owning a home. Yeah, I might have 2, 3, 4, 5 children. I may be a single mom, may not be married. I might be overweight, uneducated, but I still have dreams of still owning this or building this or creating this for the purpose of other people's benefit. Then I want to talk to you today about how to start putting that into action. And that's the second act, okay? So go ahead and write another ACT. For those of you who are out there on Facebook, let's go ahead and recap for those who are just coming into this room. The first A of where you were in your need, which is acknowledge. Please go ahead and put that in the comment section if you're out there. Number 2, you want to type in claim. And then number 3, trust. And those 3 words spell ACT. That's the first act. Now, as we're moving into where we want to go in our life, in our business, in our home, our finances, we're going to move into the second act. And then you're going to write, first A is action. Because we just talked about you have to do something different in order to get a different result. So if you're someone who likes to come home from work and just chill out on the sofa and watch a little bit of TV, you like to look at reality shows, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But let's see what kind of actions could we replace what you're currently doing with that would get you some more desirable results. So for me, one of the actions that I made, and I'll share this with you, is that I started to have my children, because I was a single mom with a 5-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son. And so some of the things we would do, they would like to watch TV, and sometimes so would I. But I had a lot of things to do. I had a full-time job, I owned a home, we had laundry to clean, meals to cook. And so one of the things I would have us to do, we would call it family time. We'd turn on our favorite movie. I'd break out 3 different loads of clothes where we would sit down together as a family and fold our clothes while dinner was cooking, watching a movie. So we're multitasking. Those actions were what I did with those actions. What they did for me was they reduced my level of stress. So there are some things you can do right now. And I talk a lot about the family because I believe any woman who's building a business, and you don't have to have children, but you should be building your business for the legacy. In other words, whatever you're wanting to do, it has to be something that either God has put on in your heart, in your spirit, but it has to be something that's going to leave a legacy for you in your life. I was sitting in church one time, and the pastor asked a question that was life-changing for me. And it was, and I hope this resonates with some of you who may be sitting on the fence and who put off a few things that you know you've needed to do for your future. But he asked, if you died today, Would anybody care? Would it matter to anyone if you died today? What would people say about you if you left this earth tonight? And it's a thought you really don't even want to consider. But when you allow yourself to, I believe there's life in those questions. Because if you really think about the fact that if I were to leave this earth today, for me, today, I'm putting my shoulders up and lifting my chest up a little bit because I know I've done everything I was supposed to do. Just about. We can't say everything, but I've done everything I think I was supposed to do in the eyes of God to raise my children to be God-fearing people, to learn from their mistakes, to be able to grow up and be people of character, to respect other people, and to be an example and a light for others. And if there is nothing anybody else can say about me, I'll rest in heaven until I meet them again. And not to be morbid, but you need to think. I heard a sister say the other day that she's more in the season of, she might be looking at her, sunset, rather than her sunrise. We all are. Guess what? We all are. With people leaving this earth in their 20s and 30s. If you were in your 40s and 50s, you're the ones that's looking around going, I don't know what's happening. You know, but we all have our time and we all have our season for everything. But what's most important is, wouldn't you feel great to know that those ideas that you have right now, the dreams that you've been putting on hold, that you've actually started to work them out? And who knows, I may never get to see the full manifestation of the dreams that I have, but I'm in my journey and I'm happy. You know, I'm walking in that walk, and it fulfills me in a way that I wanted it to, because that's what your dreams mean. That's what the things that you're thinking about and hoping for and dreaming, you're dreaming them for a reason, because you believe in your mind that they're going to bring you a level of happiness and peace and joy. And you're right. I'm here to tell you, you're right. I never could have believed that after walking away from a job, losing my children's father, having 2 children who were, traumatized from losing their father, and then to be able to build not only a home for us, to build 2 healthy, energetic children who are adding something to the people, their other kids around them, to be able to start 2 successful businesses, and now I'm working on my 3rd, to be able to walk away from my full-time job on faith, to be able to obtain a graduate degree, all while taking care of the children, taking care of the home, and working full-time. You know, I'm not trying to impress anybody, but somebody out there needs to know, stop making excuses for yourself. So that's your first A for the second act into your dreams. Action. What are you going to do different? It has to be different. And then the second C would be to change. We have to change things that are not working for us. The way that you learn is you make an action, or you do something here. Let's say your daily routine is that you get up and you're rushing for your day. You're rushing to get to work. You're rushing with the kids. You're rushing to get them dressed. Or let's say you don't have children, but you're on your way. You get up, you go through Facebook, and then you just slowly get into your day. You go to work, you go about your day. But all of the things that you're doing on a daily basis, maybe they're not producing the results that you want. This is where that C is very, very applicable to your life. You need to change some things. For me, I was always running out of time, not enough time in the morning. And I always said, Lord, I know I need to pray more in the morning. I need to be able to meditate, read the Bible in the morning, but I just don't have time. I want to be able to cook breakfast for my children in the morning. And this was when I was working full-time as a school teacher. And so the thing that I had to change was I needed to get up earlier. Now to change that meant I needed to go to bed earlier. But to change that meant I needed to change some of my activities at night so that I could go to bed earlier. But to change that meant I needed to turn the TV off so that I could focus my mind and relax my body and allow my rest to take place so that I'm more energized in the morning. So you see how those changes, and then what happened as a result of the change, I began to wake up earlier, began to pray, got my power, got my spirit, got everything I needed to equip me emotionally and spiritually for that day. I was able to cook breakfast for my children, which sent them off to a school with a great attitude, most times. And then I went off to teach and pour into the lives of other little children in the right frame of mind. Okay, so you have to change some things. And I don't know what that is for you, but I need someone in that comment section to go ahead and type change. And the last part of the second act is to teach. We all are teachers. Every single one of us. Because if you've ever shared with somebody about a good movie to watch, or a good book to read, or a nice perfume to buy, or a sale where they should go and buy something that's got good clothes, or whatever, or shoes for a good price, then you're actually really imparting information, which all teaching is. You're imparting information that's going to benefit someone else. Because what's going to happen, I guarantee, is you start to put these acts in place, that you're going to start to see a flow in your life. You're going to start to see changes in yourself. And if you are a mother, I present to you that the first people you need to teach are your children. Whatever it is about life, don't learn it by yourself. Don't go through it, and when you start seeing those positive results, you have to be able to share that with someone else around you. Whomever it is, share it with them, because that's where you're going to grow, and that's where your leadership qualities are going to excel, because leadership is simply influence. Influence over other people. You become the person that they look to for guidance and direction. And let me tell you, people are watching you. They're watching you and you don't even know it. People who, you may not even think are your friend. They're watching you. And so you want to be a person that leads by example, because if they're watching you, guess who else is watching you? And so it's important to be able to put these things into place and teach someone else and pull another sister or brother or a child along. So let's go ahead and review. For those of you who are just coming in, thank you for joining us. We're talking about experiencing limitless living, and we've just gone over 2 acts. We talked about the acts of the things that we can't control in our lives, the needs that we've had. So we said the first A is to acknowledge where we are. C is to claim what we want. T is to trust that we have the ability, the power, the strength, the courage to get to where we want. And then as we want to start really walking into that limitless living and stepping out on faith and doing the things we know we need to do in order to make our dreams come true, we want to deal with the second act. And that A is action. We want to change some actions about our daily whereabouts, the things we're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And those things, I want to say, they even include with your finances. What are you doing with your finances that are going to help to bring the resources you need to start that dream? What can you sacrifice and give up, out of your daily and your weekly that will add resources and funding to fund your dream? The action, the change, changing things about what you're doing with yourself, how you carry yourself, how you talk. And then T is to teach. ACT, that's the second act. And with those things, I guarantee, and I want you all to, let me just share who I am and where you can reach me. I'm on Facebook as Dr. Sabrina Watson. Follow me on my Facebook Live page, Dr. Sabrina Watson Live. And as you start to put some of these things into practice, please feel free to send a message to me and let me know some of the progress and development you're seeing. I'm excited. I can't wait, because I know what results will be produced once you start putting some of these actions and these strategies into place. So as I get ready to close, I just want to share with you all, I do have a special gift for anyone who wants more information on strategies, on limitless living. Go ahead and text the word limitless. That's Limitless. to area code 6, I'm sorry, let me start over, area code 863-215-8111. Again, text the word limitless to area code 863-215-8111. Those of you friends out there, would someone go ahead and type that in the comment section? Again, text the word limitless to 863-215-8111. So glad you all could join me today. This has been so amazing. I'm up here perspiring, but it's all good because my goal and my vision, just so you know, was to be here today to be able to share with you the experiences that I've had and how they have changed and blessed my life. And this is my hope for you. So I'm going to look forward to hearing some of you in the future. Just send me a message as you start to go through some of these strategies and let me know how they're changing your lives so that you can be someone to change someone else's life. Thanks for being here.
Woo, 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 woo. Awesome. That was amazing. That's amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Sabrina. Was that awesome or what? Come on, let's give her
Yes,
a
Act 1, Act 2, oh my
That's
God.
amazing. Those acts 1 and Act 2. So listen, you're ready now to just step out and do the doggone thing. Well, I'm glad to be here with you. We're going to start the next class. I want to introduce myself, and then I'm going to jump right into our next lesson because we want to cover a lot of ground, and we're going to do it very quickly. So you want to make sure that you're still connected, that you're in tune. You don't want to have things and people around you that's trying to distract you. So if you have to just separate, you know, mama sometimes, well, I was going to say you can go in the bathroom, but I don't know. I have kids, and, you know, you go in there, and they come right behind you. So you got to find some place. The car, that's where you can go. So you can go to your car, just get alone. You want to make sure that you can literally just lean in and grasp this information. So anytime you're in settings like this, you want to make sure that you're ready to receive. You're ready to receive. And why am I saying that? Because you're going to hear some things. And when it's put out to you, it's going to sound different than what the person actually said. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you can hear a lot of people talking, but there's something that's going to resonate specifically with you. That's what I want you to write down. So you may not write down what I'm saying. What I want you to write down is the revelation that you get when I say it. Because it's going to apply directly to you when you do that, okay? So I just thought I'd give you an opportunity to get to the car. Thought I'd give you an opportunity to get alone, maybe grab a pen and pencil so we can jump into the next class. Well, my name is Bobette Brown. I'm a transformation architect, author, speaker, coach. I am a certified coach. I'm a certified coach within the ICF, the International Coach Federation, as well as a John Maxwell team member, and received my certification there as well. And I like to start because, you know, you have a lot of people who are coaches these days, and then some of them haven't been trained. But I want you to know that I wanted to be such of service to you that I wanted to make sure that I went and was properly trained. So that's not trying to bash anybody or denigrate anyone who didn't. But this is my story, and I own it. So that's the first thing I want to let you know. I also want to let you know that you can follow me on all of the social media outlets. So as I'm teaching today, or maybe you look back over your notes, I want to hear from you. And you can go on Twitter, Instagram. You can find me at Lady Bobette. That's one B in the middle. Lady Bobette. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your ahas. If you're on Facebook, Lady Bobette Brown. Go. I want to hear from you. Share with me your ahas. And more importantly, I just don't want to hear your ahas. I want to hear what steps you made. Because we've been teaching, we've been training over these last 3 days. And you know what? You can put in the hashtag Epic2018 if you believe that the information that you've gained, that you really can step back and say that 2018 is my year. I mean, you may have said 2017 was your year, 2016, 2015, but you noticed that you stepped into a new dimension with this year. I mean, you're not playing with it anymore. Just like, you know, I often like to say, I'm closer to sunset than sunrise. And I realize that, and you're like, why do you say that? Because unless God allows me to live to be over 100 years old, half of my life is already over. Now I know the reality is you can actually die today and you're 5 or you're 10. I don't know when my time is, but when I look at it from a natural perspective, I can say half of my life is over. Now I was caught up in a whole bunch of stuff early on, but you know what? I've gotten serious. And I feel that's what some of you all are saying in 2018. You're like, you know what? I've been playing around long enough. Tricks are for kids. You're like, tricks are for girls. It's time for me to go to the next level. I need to start to implement all of this information that I'm gaining. So today what we're going to be talking about is I really want to help you. I want to work with you. I want to teach you how to align with and activate your mission and your message. I want to help you. I really do. I want to help you so that you can align with and activate your mission and message. Because I had to take a step back, and I'll tell you, I'm a woman of faith, and I was praying about what I should share with you today. And as I was thinking, I remembered myself being in a setting like this. Powerful speakers. Oh my God, the information, half of what they were talking about, I didn't know, CRMs and all this PL. I didn't know what they were talking about, but I was taking it all in. And I was smiling through all of it. I was smiling. I was acting like I knew what they were talking about. I was clueless. I was like, Lord, I can't wait till I leave. I'm about to Google what in the world is a CRM. What is the reason? What content? What do you mean? See, all these terminologies that entrepreneurs who've been in the field for a long time use, and then I was sitting there, oh, I looked the part. I'm gonna tell you, I looked like I knew, but when I tell you, clueless. If you're not too embarrassed, you see, I'm not too embarrassed. You can put in there, I'm clueless. You've gotten all this information, and you can put it there. I want you to own that. I'm clueless, because when we get finished, notice I had you put it in early. Because by the time I get finished, you should not be saying you're clueless. No, I have a very short period of time to give you some information, but you won't be clueless. At least you've taken some steps. So I want to use my experience. I want to take a step back, and then I want to launch another perspective to those of you who are out there who want to be womanpreneurs, who say, I want to be a Black woman CEO, but I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm trying to figure out why I'm here. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Why have I gone through all I've gone through? And maybe you're in this room and you're thinking the same thing. And maybe you're online and you're thinking the same thing. And if you're not too proud to admit it, I want to challenge you to put in the comment box why. I can remember thinking, my first child, why did I have to have a miscarriage? Why? Why did I have to lose the baby? Why? I can remember growing up in a military family, going from place to place every 3 years. It was tough. But you know what God knew that I didn't know? Is I needed to get comfortable with people. See, I can step into a room and not know you, and you will think I've met you for years. You know why? Because when I was in the military family, we moved every 3 years. So I'm used to people with different backgrounds, different thought processes, it didn't even bother me. Why? Because I grew up. I'm used to hanging out with Asians and Hispanics and Puerto Ricans and whites and blacks. I'm used to all that because that's how I grew up. And God knew there would be a day that I would be speaking on a platform where I would need to identify with various types of people. So he helped me. So see, you're thinking, so here I am, why do we have to move everything? Don't you know it's going to hurt me? Some of y'all can remember people that you went to school in kindergarten. You know, I've been knowing them since nursery school. Lord, I don't know where I was when I was in nursery school. I've got sisters who were born in Hawaii. I got a brother who was born in Germany. Me and my brother, we were born in the States. We were in Kentucky. We were in San Francisco. We moved every 3 years. Why did you have me to do that? and those of you who were in the room. I didn't even like being in front of people. I literally used to shake at my knees. And you're thinking, why did I have to grow up shaking at my knees? And who would have ever thought that God would use it as an opportunity for me to impact countless lives? You know why? Because I need to be able to be relatable to you. So everything that I've gone through, and you've gone through, has been clues. They've been clues to where you're supposed to be. They've been clues to the people that you're supposed to impact. They've been clues to the message that you're going to share. Now, I'm going to stop with that, and I'm going to say this. You hear a lot of people talking about businesses, a lot of people talking about messages, and if you're not careful, you'll think that you need to be on stage. Somebody's got to hear me. No. You don't have to be a speaker. You have a message to the child that's in pre-K care, maybe pre-kindergarten. You like children by nature. That is a part of the process. All right, so let's jump in. I want to help you find where you fit today. I'm going to help you find where you fit so that you can align yourself with your message. I want to make sure that you can align with and activate your mission and message, and it all starts, all the clues are already in your life. Now, when we talk about that, we talk about purpose. What is purpose? Purpose is the original intent. It was the original intent and design of a thing. Those of you that are sitting in this room and you that is online, more than likely you are sitting down. Why aren't you using that chair as a fashionable hat? Why? I mean, why are you sitting in it? Because, see, somebody saw that there was a need. That's where they saw. They saw there was a need. People were tired of sitting on the ground. Maybe people were tired of standing up. So somebody said, we need to figure out a way so people can be more comfortable. So they created the chair. And you're like, where are you going? Listen, if you don't grab your purpose, if you don't embrace your purpose, abuse is inevitable. The purpose of a chair is that we sit in it. It was never designed to be a fashionable hat. It was designed and created, it was purposed for us to sit in. And so before it ever got here, before it was ever created, it was in the mind of someone who saw that there was a problem and recognized that they had the gift, talent, and ability to solve that problem. So when we start talking about purpose, remember, it is the original design, right? It's the original creation of a thing. Now, I might hurt your feelings with this, but I'm going to still give it to you straight. I keep it 100. My clients, I coach. This is why people pay me. And I remind them every time I bring them back to this point, I feel like I am obligated to give you the truth. That's why you've hired me to be your coach. So when we start to think about purpose, listen, you're going to look back in your life. You're going to look to see the things that you've done. And guess what? That may mean you have to spend some time with yourself alone. You're going to ask yourself some tough questions. Purpose, the original intent of a thing. I'm going to tell you something. You and I were created by God. We were created by God. If you want to know why you were created, you're going to have to go back to the manufacturer. The manufacturer was not me. Your manufacturer was not your mama. The manufacturer was not your auntie, your big mama. That was not the manufacturer. The manufacturer was God. So if you want to know why am I created, why am I here, you're going to have to go back to the one that created you. Because we talked about the chairs. You can say, the guy who created or the woman who created the chair, they knew that it was about you sitting in it. You look at the thing, oh, I'm going to wear it as a hat. They said, no, don't you put that on your head. No, it's meant for you to sit in. So that's what I want to make sure you're doing. You want to say, what is it that I've been designed? What have I been created to do? All right? We're talking about purpose. You are like a puzzle, a piece to a puzzle. So to this week, and as you're online, you've been listening to all of these stories. And you're trying to find out, where do I fit? Where do I fit? It's like pieces. Normally, I like to have a puzzle piece. Because the wonderful thing about a puzzle piece is it's all different shapes, sometimes different sizes, and people are waiting for your piece to show up. But often what happens is we try to be the same piece. Every piece of the puzzle will not look like a square. Some pieces will not have 4 corners. So you cannot copy someone else's purpose. You're going to have to decide within yourself that you are going to pursue your calling, your original intent. And that's what it is. It is a calling. Why am I here? It's a calling. You're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to take some time. And I'm going to tell you something and give yourself a deadline. Don't come in not 2019 talking about, I've been waiting all this time to find out, I was on the call and Lady Barbette told me that I needed to find, no. Set a deadline. Because you've lived long enough to have clues in your life already. So it is going to be a part of your calling. It's major that you do that. It's the thing that pulls out the you in you. It's your calling. It's the thing that you love to do. If you didn't even get paid, you'd do it. What would you do? I mean, what would you do? People don't have to ask me to help them. It's natural. And now that I'm a coach and I'm a speaker and I'm a trainer, I have to make sure sometimes, as so many of the people have taught us this week, is not to just give it away for free. I just have to, why? Because it's what I would do if I didn't get paid. I just love adding value to people. And you can probably tell, as passionate as I am, you're like, she like helping folks. I sure do. I want to make sure that when you leave Earth, that you have completed your task. That is my assignment. To make sure that when you're called home, that you hear well done. And I don't care if you were a bad washing machine. Oh, you had all the bells and whistles. You were the baddest washing machine since the washing machine's been made. But baby, if God created you to be a dryer, when you stand before him, please understand, he will say, I didn't even know you. You're like, all this stuff I did? He said, well, I was looking for you in the dryer section, but you was over there in the wash machine section. And some of y'all think you can sing. You can't sing. Stop it. You know you can't sing. You know. I know what your mama said. Now, let's be honest. Now, when you sit down with I told you this is the kind of coach I am. As a matter of fact, my motto is, if you don't want me to push you to your next level, please don't share your dreams with me. If you don't want me to push you to your next level, no, you don't need to be going to @LadyBarbette. Instagram, Twitter, no. You don't want to info@ladybarbette.com talking about I'm interested in coaching. No. You don't want to do that. Because if you don't want me to push you to your next level of success, you're not going to, and I understand that. Some people don't want to go anywhere, so they're fine in mediocrity. I'm not fine with mediocrity because I've been created for greatness. And I know that. He says, I want to do exceeding abundantly above what you think. So you know what I do? And I'm going to challenge you to do? I want you to think big. No, I don't want you to think small. I want you to think big. Why would you think big? Honey, if you think big, and then he said, I'm going to do exceeding abundantly above? Oh, no, you need to be thinking crazy. I'm going to help you. I'm telling you, I'm helping you. So that's your calling. And then your calling, you know what, becomes a compass. Your calling, once you embrace it, begins to give you direction. You begin to say, oh, okay, now I understand why I like to talk so much. I always like talking. See, we're looking for something supernatural. Like we want thunder. I hear thunder, lightning. You're looking for all this fancy stuff. No. Don't let people, look, it ain't got to be spooky. So stop it. No, what is it that you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy being with kids? Do you enjoy being in the front? Do you enjoy being in the back? Whatever it is, that's your purpose. And you know what? Some people only like being in front. So if they like being in front, they need somebody who likes being in the back. Who's doing all the work? Sometimes we try to denigrate the shade ministries, the shade callings, the shade purposes. And you're like, what do you mean by shade? The ones that we don't see. See, you can see me on the stage. Some of y'all out there, you're calling in ministry, and I know you've probably heard this, everybody's a preacher. So you think you got to be a preacher. You know you don't preach. So why? Because Big Mama told you that. No. That's why I told you from when we first started. I'm helping you align, right? I'm helping you align. If I'm helping you align, put in the comment box. All I want you to put is, you're helping me. You're helping me. Those of you in the room, if I'm helping you, I want to hear from you. That's all about your compass, all right? And then the next one is, when you go through, you're aligning with your message and your mission. Can I give you another thing that's going to really help you? You're going to have a sense of conviction. You're going to have a sense of conviction. As a coach, I help people from all walks of life. Like me, I'm from all walks of life. I look back, I left clues. I am a personal overcomer. I'm a professional overcomer, I should say. I'm a professional overcomer. I know about resilience. Why? Oh, because I want you to know all the stuff I've been through. Oh, yes. From rape. You name it. Yes. I told you about miscarriage, rejection. I decided to give up on my dreams. In the gym one day on the elliptical, and I was like, you know what? I guess God don't have nothing for me, and I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life. And I'm on the elliptical, and then don't ask me how this song, because you know how you on upbeat songs in the gym. All I know is this song came on by Israel Holden, and it said, I'm asking you to dream again. Believe again. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. And God was telling me, take the limits off of me. I want you to dream again. Put that, I'm dreaming again. I'm believing again. Put in the comment box, on your paper, I want you to crystallize it. I'm believing again. Uh-oh, here you go. I'm going to hope again. And here's a big one. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get. I want you to try again. You've got to try again. Take the lessons from the failures and say, now I know what doesn't work. Ha! I'm smart. Take the lessons from the failures and bring them into position, proper position. So you have that. You got your calling. You got your compass. All right. Here's the next one. You got your conviction. We talked about that. This is a big one. Here you go. And now you're going to have courage. If you're going to align with and activate your message and your mission, it's going to take courage. People always are going to have something to say about what you do. You don't know. Faith is the substance of things that I'm hoping for. I don't see the next step. But I'm going to take a step and believe when I step, ground is going to materialize. See, I can remember when my kids were young, my first business as a sign language consultant, I wanted to come home off my job. And the Lord allowed me, I'll never forget, I sensed that he was about to bring me home off my job. And we were living on 2 paychecks, paycheck, 2 paycheck. Somebody, did y'all miss that? Can I get a witness?
We got it.
I was living paycheck to paycheck. We were living paycheck to paycheck on 2 paychecks. And then God had the audacity, yes, he does, the audacity to tell me to come off my job. And so I was like, ooh, before he does, I'm going to try to save some money so that when he tell me, I am ready, right? I had it all planned. And then my husband, one day after prayer in the morning, he walked into the bathroom as I was getting ready, and he said, put your 2-week notice in. What? I ain't really saying, no. 2 pay, if you hear me, 2 paychecks, all right, we live in payday, 2 payday. My first time I wanted to start a business. So you know what? I had an option. I could take a step and see what was going to happen, or I could stay where I was and know what was going to happen. But the problem is, I didn't want to die with, I wonder what would happen if. See, I wonder what would have happened if I would have took that step. I wonder what would happen if. I wonder what. Now here's what something I've been praying for. I'm ready to get off my job. I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to pursue my dreams. I'm ready to pursue my business. I'm ready to go after that thing. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And God said, you know what your problem is? You don't believe me. I said, yes, I do. Oh, make sure. I told you, got to go back to the manufacturer. I said, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I trust you. And he said, okay, you trust me? I said, I do trust you. Quit. Oh, but did I really say I trusted you? Quit then. If you really trust me. Because see, what you forgot, Bobette, is I am the source.
Wow.
Your job is just a resource.
That's right.
So the problem is you done got stuff to put. If you got some stuff twisted, you ain't got to let me know. Just put twisted, twisted. See, you thought you thought your job. That's why some of y'all freaking out right now. With the things that's going on in the federal government. Oh, the government shut down. Oh. Look, that wasn't nothing but a resource. The conduit of blessings. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He don't get clogged. The wonderful thing about God, he don't sleep nor slumber.
Yeah.
He ain't surprised.
Yeah.
He knew what was going to happen before it showed up. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to get that business. Something that will cause you know what? It's time for me to stop sitting around and I need to do the doggone thing. So maybe that's where you are. So I'm pushing you, didn't I tell you? If you want to go to the next level of success, please don't share your dreams with me. Because no one that stays with me stays where they are. If you want to grow spiritually, hey, don't get around me. And I have some clients that come to me, it's not even about business. They want to go to a next level spiritually. That's what they believe their calling is, because they believe they're supposed to impact another generation, and it doesn't have anything to do with actually doing a business and, contracts and all these content and those. Maybe that's not even it for this season. Maybe this season is all about you getting close to him. So when he talks to you, you do know where to go. So when he talks to you, you do know when somebody's running the okie doke on you.
Yes. It's good, sister.
So that's why I love personal growth and professional development or leadership development. That's what I do. That's what I coach people on. Yeah. I help the singles get ready and the marrieds keep it steady. Personal growth in your relationship. Yep, marriage the holy hookup. WHOLLY. Yeah, we help the singles get ready and the marrieds keep it steady. Some singles don't want to get married, but they still need to be ready. Ready for what? Ready to fulfill their calling. Ready to fulfill their destiny. Ready to meet their maker. I hope I'm helping you. If I'm helping you, I want to know I'm helping you. If I am helping you, I think I got some people in the room that's like, I done came down your street. If I'm in your street, I'm in your neighborhood, I'm in your country, I'm in your house. How about I'm in your room? How about I'm on your toes right now? If I'm on your toes, just say, you're on my toes. You're on my toes. It's not always what you think. Don't let all these words that you've been hearing, and as you're looking at CEO, black CEO, don't you let it prevent you from doing what you have been called to do. You do have a calling. You have a purpose. Your calling is going to lead to, it's going to be like a compass. When you sit down with yourself, you're going to begin to say, oh, I went through this, I went through that. Oh, man, that's why I had to go there. I'm going to challenge you to do something. You ready? This is what I challenge you to do. I want you to find 3 people that you trust who aren't impressed with you. So one of them got to be a family member, because they usually not impressed. I don't care. You can be like a billionaire, and when you show up, you still like they child or whatever. They are not impressed with who you are. I want you to find 3 people, and what I want you to do is I want you to ask them, who do you say that I am? Because you're thinking, you're not sure. I don't know what I'm good at. And maybe in your mind, you do know what you're good at. But you keep second guessing it. So you're going to find 3 people, and you're going to ask them, who do you say? Jesus did it. He said, who do men say that I am? He knew who he was, but he wanted to know, who do people see? Who do you see that I am? Am I being authentic to who I really am? Or am I caught up with what everybody else? Jesus, am I supposed to be a disciple? Or am I supposed to be the disciples' leader? why am I here? Because what he did, nobody else did. He was the only Savior. So he showed up on the scene talking, nobody's ever done it before. Stop it. I'm going to give you scripture. He said, I'm going to do what eye hath not seen, ear hath not heard, and what hasn't even entered into the heart of men. So I don't care that nobody's doing it. He didn't say anything about that. No, he's going to do what eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, what hasn't even entered into people's mind. Now, we know there's nothing new under the sun. Somebody's doing it. You haven't seen them yet, but somebody's probably doing it, and you can Google it. But what I want you to do is I want you to sit down and take that stinking thinking, go ahead and hit the delete button on the stinking thinking, and find out where you fit. Find out how you align yourself. Find how you can activate your mission and your message. Are you writing this down? Yes, I'm coaching you real good. Because this time next year, no, I'm not going to go next year. This time, this day, in 3 months, you should not be in the same place. Now, you may have put clueless when you first showed up on this session. You put it in the comment box that I'm clueless. You put it on your paper that I'm clueless. But you should not be clueless now. You should know what you're doing. You should know where you're going. You have some homework that I've already given you. So you have to decide, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with what you just learned? And that's very important. What are you going to do with what you just learned? You know you have a calling. You know that you have a compass. It's inside of you. It's already there. Nothing can be more frustrating to me as when I get in the car with people and they jump in, they start driving, and then you say, where are you going? I don't know. Then why are we moving? You don't even know where you're going. So where you driving? Oh, you're like, oh, we're going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to go to this restaurant, such. And I'm like, you know how to get there? No. So why are you moving? Like, why have we moved from park to drive when you have no idea how to get to where you want to go? Can we, like, stop the car and put it in the GPS so we all know that we're headed in the right direction? Because you don't have time to waste. See, people who think they have time to waste, that's why they jump in the car and they just start moving. You're like, what does that have to do with me? You heard a lot of information as you're listening in on these calls and you're on the replay. You're hearing a lot of information and you're ready to get moving. Well, where are you going? Where are you going? You don't even know what to tell your GPS. You have no clue. That's why I wanted to stop you. I wanted to stop you so that you can begin to say, I need to take a moment and ask myself some questions. And when you ask yourself the questions, and when people tell you what they perceive that you are, can you check with them and make sure, So what I know, I see what you do. So what I want you to do is, what I asked you those different questions, and what I'd like for you to do with those questions is I want you to be truthful to yourself. When you go to the people and they tell you about you, I don't want you to respond to them. That's not why you're asking them. No, you ask them, who do you say that I am? So when they tell you who they perceive that you are, I want you to take notes. I want you to write it down. Everything that they say. I think you're a little nasty. I think you're a happy person. I think you're a friendly person. I think people love you. Oh, I noticed that children always like it around. I noticed that people always, anytime they need an answer, they're looking for a solution. They want to pick your brain. They must think that you are very analytical. Sometimes, you know what? I know you are not a morning person. Oh, you love it at night. Oh, I want you to be able to hear all those things that they're saying. I just want you to record them. And when you get all the clues from who people say that you are, or how they perceive you to be, then I want you to take a step back. And I want you to analyze the data. I want you to analyze the data. Because if you're going to fulfill your purpose, you're going to have to analyze. If you're going to align with and activate your mission and your message, you first have to understand you. You can't do that if you haven't spent time with you. And I want you to be careful. If you've been in some tough places, Don't be so quick to get out of those tough places. I'm going to quit my job. My boss is crazy. I'm going to leave my church. And I'm going to do. And you know what? There's lessons in the struggle, baby. You're missing the opportunity to learn and gain all this wisdom because every time a tough situation comes, you want to jump ship. Trust the process. Trust the process. And that's a part of me telling you about finding where you fit that I really wanted to hit in. I want you to frame your experiences. Finding where you fit. F-I-T. I want you to frame your experiences. Frame the words that people are going to tell you about you. Is it true? Because sometimes people can perceive you to be a certain way, and it's not true. I grew up in an environment, I traveled, I told you, in my family, we moved every 3 years. The majority of my circles, which is just amazing that I'm in the Black woman CEO, and some of you that are listening online, I'll give you a little bit of background. I didn't grow up around Black people. Did you catch that? Oh, you mad now, right? I didn't grow up. You hear me? And so I could have said, well, something like this, I'm disqualified. Why should I be here? In my neighborhood of 150 homes, when my family finally settled, we were the only Black family. Uh-oh, this might be too real for some of y'all. I want to talk about how God will use your journey. How God wants to use, but you got to frame your experiences. So my dad had a job that was very unusual. He had a special set of skills. I'll just leave it right there. And at that time, Black people weren't doing what my dad was doing. So my friends, my slumber parties, my buddies growing up, they didn't look like me. I would have thought I was totally disqualified to be here today. Fast forward, God has such a sense of humor. I get married. Where does he put me? At the time, this is what we were called when I moved to Washington, D.C., inner city, all Black people. God, stop tripping. Church, we used to say, the church in the hood that will do you good. What? Do I need to tell y'all I was asking, why am I here? But each lesson God was teaching me, it's been over 30 years. But I can remember when I first got there, like some of you that have been listening to these tapes and recordings, all this, you're feeling like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think like the other people think. I don't act like the other people act. I don't do what the other people... Stop it. Just doggone it. Stop it. So I want you to frame your experiences. Okay? I want you to be intentional about moving. I want you to be intentional about setting goals. I want you to be intentional about setting strategies. Stop whining about what didn't go right. You're inhaling and exhaling. A whole lot obviously must have gone right for you because you're still here. All right? Yeah. That's what I take. This is the kind of coach I am. I know. When I'm coaching my clients, we don't have time to waste. Teach me to number my days. Oh, yes. Because there's greatness in you. There's a whole group of people that are waiting for you to show up. And there's the idiosyncrasies that you feel that are disqualifying you from fulfilling who you're supposed to be. All right? So that's the F and that's the I. Here's the T. Finding where you fit. Aligning with and activating your mission and message. Here's the T. Ready? Put it in the box. I want you to trust the process. More importantly, I want you to trust the God of the process. Knowing that your steps have been ordained and orchestrated. Knowing that your steps have been purposeful. That's enough homework. I think I've given you enough to do, so in 3 months, you should not be where you are today. Again, my name is Bobette Brown. You can find me at ladybobette.com. You can go and find me on social media. And you know what? If you're really ready to transform, so many of us are ready to transform. You're like, I'm tired of this. I've been doing the same old thing over and over and over again. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to do something different. I'm ready to be something different. That's why I'm the transformation architect. If you don't want me to push you to your next level, if you don't want to transform, don't share your dreams with me. But you know what? You are ready. I know you're ready. That's why you haven't even budged. I told you to go find a quiet place. You went out to the car, so you're not bothered. So your kids was probably knocking on that bathroom door, because some of y'all, that's where you are. And you're like, leave me alone. You know what? If you're really ready to transfer and you're ready to grab a hold to it, I have a gift for you. In order to get the gift, all you need to do is text, get your phone out. Go ahead, 410-881-6060. 410-881-6060. And text the word transform. That's only if you're ready. It's a free gift. Oh, you know what? Nothing's free. Because once you've been exposed, you will be held accountable for the information that you're going to gain. Again, Lady Bobette Brown, transformation architect, author, speaker, and coach. And I'm glad you shared this time with me. I look forward to hearing your ahas. You can find me everywhere at Lady Bobette. And again, that's going to be in the middle. God bless.
Woo!